be like anti-camel or something.
Oh, even better.
Oh my days. You can't make a username better than that. You know, just cause I'm just that good. I am the
Alright,
username.
do I go multiplayer
Uh, yes.
or
Just
alright?
use the link I sent you.
I did. It just
Oh,
made me make it.
go to multiplayer and then at the top just put XHHA.
XHHA.
Oh,
Alright.
oh my days, of course. Okay, time for our Tetris battle.
I don't know how to play. You have to teach me how to play. I don't.
Okay, so basically, if you make the blocks in a line, then here, look at this. It like
I don't know how to move. I don't know how to move them.
you use the
What?
arrow
What?
keys, and then you press Z and X to turn them.
Z and X. Right.
Yeah, and then you press space to instantly drop it.
Right.
You understand it
Wait.
now?
I'm throwing.
It's been 10 seconds, and I don't really expect you to immediately know how to play, bro. So,
Oh! I
oh
got a
crap.
bar.
Also, you have to get 2 bars in order to do damage. Basically, every time
Damage.
you every time you
Oh
make
shit.
a line, um, how do I explain this? Every time you make a line, on your one, it adds a line to your enemy, and you have to like uh make enough lines to kill them. Yeah,
What?
so that's the idea. Here, see, I did 4, so now you're gonna get 4 lines to you, like that.
Oh, bro.
Oh my
No
god, I
wait. They're going.
fumbled already.
They're like moving too fast. No.
Yeah, that speeds up.
Oh shit. Fuck.
I'm gonna lock in alien.
No. I died. What happened? My strikes are going
Uh,
up. What's happening? Oh,
it's
I
cause
died. I
I'm...
lost.
Alright, that's not bad for your first time.
Fucked up. Okay, hold on. I gotta memorize the controls. I gotta.
Yeah, just keep locking in.
Alright. Keep being locked in alien. Alright, shut up. Alright.
Oh my days. Locked in alien.
You can like switch pieces, right? Or like
Yeah.
switch what piece you have, right?
Yeah, if you press C, it puts it on hold on the top left. Uh, which is like basically a piece that you can swap in every turn. You can't swap it back out until the next turn. If that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I
Alright.
fucked up. Yo, fucked up. Okay.
Amigo, I
Oh
fucked
shit.
up.
I fucking rapied. Okay.
There are a couple of
Uh,
strats for this game. Like, you see the one I'm doing right now? Basically, you just, like, make a whole bunch and keep gatekeeping it until you get this 4 one that I have right now. And then you just put it here and it, like, gets a bunch to your enemy. So that's one of
fuck.
the strats.
I'm getting clapped.
Yeah.
I know it.
There are also these things called openers. Uh, basically, at the start of every game, you can, like, do a certain set of moves. Um, you just kind of have to memorize what the set of moves are,
No,
and that'll
no,
do a bunch of damage to your enemy.
it's not. I'm in the search bar. What is happening? Oh
Oh,
my
what the
god.
fuck? What did you do?
I don't know. Give me a fucking line. It's not giving me any lines. Oh my god. I'm
Uh,
cooked. I'm done. I'm done. It's
try to
over.
make as little holes as possible, if that makes sense. Make sure all the
Oh
holes are
yeah.
filled in while you're building up, so that you can
No, I
get
I,
every line.
I kind of gathered that, but I'm not very good at it.
I think you just have to learn how to not panic. Um, I
Yeah.
think your first few times, like, I was like this on my first time. You just kind of start uh being panicking a ton and like making a bunch of holes. I'll show you one of the strats right now.
Oh, and I already got clapped.
Yeah,
Oh,
so this is
and I'm being bum raped. Yep, yep.
Oh my god.
I haven't give. How do I even? I'm not even giving you any. What?
Yeah, that's one of the strats. The
What
openers.
happened?
It's locked
How am I
in.
losing so bad? How am I? How am I? Oh wait, fuck. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's all
I think,
no. Oh
especially on
yep,
your
yep.
first times, don't try to be fast. Just try to make pieces, because if you're going fast and you're like barely getting lines, so you're not really doing anything.
All these pieces of shit.
Yeah, we have the same pieces, so you can't say it's unfair.
No, I mean they're not shit pieces. I just aren't using any of them in the right way. Oh, and I died.
I'm not
Oh,
effective with my piecing. Fuck, I fucked
oh,
up.
and I fucked.
But okay. Yeah, like I said, oh, by the way, important, if you don't press space and just hold down and move it down, you can move it a little bit while it's on the ground. So let me like show you.
Oh yeah. No, I
Well,
I think I
you
saw.
probably know
I've
what I
like
mean.
seen you. I've seen you do it before, like in like
Yeah,
raw
so like,
raw that one time.
yeah. Aaron is like
Because I can like
insanely
slide it
good at
in.
this game for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
sorry, I meant green.
green. No, that's what his nickname used to be in
Is it? I don't even know what you're talking. Fuck, I
No, I fucked
fumbled
up.
really badly. But you know what? Sure. I have like massive
What?
holes at the bottom, so I'm kind of cooked. Do not make a
One
massive
man's
joke, I
gold
swear
is
to God.
another man's treasure. One man gold is another man's treasure.
No, I agree.
I'm sure your fuck up would have severely helped me if I did it. No, this
Oh,
stupid piece is not the right one. Oh my god. Wait. Yup, yup.
oh, I
It's
fucking
lagging.
suck. Holy shit.
Why? Why is it lagging? Stop that.
Tetris is lagging.
Give me the good. Fuck! I did it again. Oh my god. No
Alright, I'm
wait.
not really giving you any lines, so you have a good opportunity here.
I'm not winning. I don't think I'm ever gonna win.
Stop holding down. You're like moving it too fast.
No,
I
it's
think
just speeding up. I can't do anything. What? I'm not even holding it up. Oh my god.
just stop panicking, I suppose. Well, I know it's like harder than it
I
sounds
don't.
and all, but it's kind of just like how it is.
Oh, your house is on fire? Yeah. Stop panicking. Stop panicking.
Okay, I
Oh.
would consider this the same as having your house on fire. Maybe it is actually. Tetris is more important than your house being on
No.
fire.
Fuck. This stupid fucking. No. Go. No. I'm fucking. I'm throwing. Yep.
I
No.
agree.
No. Shit. Oh.
No
What?
locked in alien.
I died. I'm dead.
Honestly, that was pretty good for like one of your first times. You lasted like really long.
Survived longer.
What, like 1 minute 59? That's not bad.
Wow. What is the world record Tetris time?
Okay, well, don't compare yourself to the world record Tetris. That's like
No, no,
50
no, no, no. What is
seconds
it? What is it?
for 40 lines.
How
Well,
how 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 many? What is the world record time for Tetris?
what? What do you
So like
mean?
the most someone has ever lasted.
Forever? Oh no. Um, there was that one guy that like beat Tetris or something.
No, I mean like how you can just go forever. I'm like, doesn't it like
Um,
speed up too much? Too much?
Apparently on the original version, if like, well, it stops speeding up after a while if you're playing on infinite mode.
I'm fucked. Why would you do that to me? You know I'm not gonna be able to come back from this. I'm fucked. I'm cooked. Ah shit.
Fuck! I fucked something up. Alright.
You fucked up. Did you?
Look at
Oh
me, I'm fumbling so hard. Look at my bad game.
my god. What the fuck is that?
Okay, I'll show you a good strat for it.
I can't.
Basically,
Alright.
so
What,
what you're
what's
gonna
the strat?
do is On the left, you're gonna keep that hole open forever. So like, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. This is actually a really good start.
Oh,
You
I
don't
don't
have to
even.
do.
I don't even know what just happened.
Also, use the hold feature a lot. It's really useful when you get
How
bad
do you use?
pieces.
How do you use the one that you're holding?
You press C.
Oh, right.
It's the same button as the one you use to put in hold.
I'm just really bad at turning the pieces.
Yeah, that's fair. Think,
Wait, this might be cold. Fuck!
oh shit, you actually managed to do something. Kind of impressed. That's your first line sent.
Wow.
Well, hey, you have to work your way up.
Wait. What do I do?
Oh shit, am I gonna die? I need pieces now. I'm cooked, bro.
No, it's gonna be.
Oh shit. Oh, wait, not completely cooked.
Oh shit! I fucked up. You fucked up. Okay. Oh,
Yo,
and I'm dead. And I'm dead.
that's
And it's
twix.
Jova.
Okay, well, you're not
And it's
completely
Jova.
cooked yet. Well, okay,
No, I
as
am.
a, well, yeah. GG's broski.
Oh,
Uh, I'm just gonna fumble because at this point, I don't really. Yeah,
wait. How is it not? Oh, I see. That
yeah.
is
Just keep
unfortunate.
um, just like rotate the pieces a lot. Use the soft drop it's called when you like bring it to the ground and move it a bunch, and use hold a lot,
Mm.
and keep one on like the left or right open so that you can use this blue really long one and then put it in there and you can get four in a row. And that's really good.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't really know what to do here.
this
Um,
stupid. Wait, no, that's like a good piece. Wait, I just didn't use it in the right way. Fuck. What's happening? Oh, I see.
like look here,
Bro,
see what
people,
I'm doing.
I can't look away. I'm like locked in. Wait, no, that was the wrong idea.
Well, do it now before it gets too fast.
Wait, hold up. I'm actually genius. I'm not.
Or stop sending one lines. One lines don't do anything. You have to send two
Can't
lines
do.
minimum.
I can't do anything about that, right? This is not in my control.
Uh,
I
alright.
don't know how to. I don't know how to. I know how to. I know what I'm supposed to do. I just can't do it.
Easy to learn, hard to master.
Wait, C.
Yes, see.
Oh
Oh
shit.
shit, I'm fumbling, actually.
It's lagging. It's like going in the wrong.
Okay.
See? No.
No! Fucked
Dead.
up. You might
You
actually
fucked up.
win. Yeah, I fucked up.
What do you
Okay.
mean you might actually win? You thought
Ah,
technically a win. No, bruh.
well, you're getting there.
Not getting.
I
I'm
want you
so
to
fucking.
slow down like a lot.
I can't go any slower. I don't know how to. I feel like it's all.
It's like you're like
Do you see this
thinking
lag?
too fast. Like my
I,
teacher told me that like if you like with kung fu, if you what if you're too tense, then it will like seem like things are going faster. But if you just like um what's the word? You just loosen up and relax a little, then it'll be a bit more clear, I suppose. Yeah,
wait, I'm
and
locked
the
in.
same principle applies here.
Fuck.
You're not doing
No,
bad.
C.
That's actually pretty good.
Oh, oh. C. I remember to press C. Yeah, I'm that.
Ooh.
Fuck. I'm about to die. Why you do this to me?
It's not my fault.
First, you make me get off surf, the greatest surf map of all time, and I'm gonna absolutely demolish in Tetris.
Okay, you know what? This isn't going too bad for you, I'd say. I'd say you're learning
Considering
faster than me.
well, I kind of got like a I don't know private tutor.
You go private tutor for Tetris. Well, Aaron tutored me. I'm tutoring you. It's just like the chain of Tetris, you know?
Oh yeah, the chain of Tetris.
Yeah, I'm
Fuck, how I do
experiencing
that?
Tetris effect right now, I swear.
No, I wanted to. I didn't mean to press C.
Yeah, you did.
I did, but I didn't. My brain pressed it, but I didn't actually want to press it. If that makes sense.
Uh, Not really, but I get the idea.
My
Okay,
brain just did it
fuck, dude.
instinctively.
Hate this game.
Then why do you grind it
That's a good question, actually.
instinctively?
You know,
I,
maybe I don't hate this game. Maybe this game is my life. This is my lifeline.
I thought
As I watch the
did I just send a
as I watch the Tetrominos fall. Tetrominos. That's actually kind of a cool word. I kind of like.
hint Trominos? Wow.
It's like
Wait,
okay.
no, no.
Well, I forgot what I was gonna say,
Ah,
but
and there it goes. Oh, and I'm throwing. And there it goes.
I'm
And
doing.
there it goes.
Stop making holes. Oh my days. Think before you drop.
I'm not dropping. It's just happening. Everything's just gone past. I'm not even watching. Oh, I'm watching. I mean, but like I can't.
Okay, I won't kill you just yet. I'll spare you, Will. Okay, I'm done sparing you.
Okay, I'm done spearing. Yeah, fair enough.
Nah. Okay, well, you're doing better, but I guess I continue to say, just try to not make holes. Just
Make
like
what?
holes, like little
Holes?
spaces.
No, I'm not. I'm
Holes!
not trying to make. I'm not trying to make holes, buddy.
Well, yeah, I'm aware. That's just like, that's um a thing that you need to learn not to do.
Good thinking. Good thinking.
I was gonna say something else, but I thought that was too hard. Too hard. I was gonna
All
say
right.
something so
Oh,
villainous, bro. Alright,
wait. Wait, is this cold?
I'm
That's
waiting.
cold.
No, I disagree with that opinion.
I thought you said if it was two, then it sends it.
Yeah, it is.
I just
Well, it
got two
should
layers.
be.
Is this rigged?
It's at the same time.
Yeah, I got two at the same time.
Okay, well, I'm kind of confused then. I think you can, like, deny it for some reason. You can, like, if you, like, do some certain move, you can, like, stop them from giving you the lines. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
The fuck did you block it from?
Yeah, I
Oh
don't know,
shit.
honestly. You tell me.
I think it's rigged. No.
Let's see.
I'm
I'm rigging the
throwing.
election. I'm rigging the election. Fucking.
But that sounds oddly familiar. That sounds hmm. I wonder
Am I
what.
rigging
Oh my god!
elections or something?
Oh,
I mean, oh my god. You're not in
I
that
am.
bad of a situation.
I'm not in that bad of a position, am I? I'm not
Yeah,
bad
you're
in that
gonna be
bad of a
alright.
position, am I?
Alright,
Oh
what's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
my
Aim winner, knee on the
okay,
ruler.
I'm gonna look at you and I want to see um if you're making holes and stuff.
I'm definitely making
Just
holes. I'm telling.
think
I'm telling you that much.
before you drop.
I'm
Think
thinking. I
before
don't know
you
what.
drop.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about. That's the problem. Okay, hold
You
on.
you see where how it like shows the shadow of where it's gonna be? Just put
Yeah.
it in such a way that it won't make holes. Yes, 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 that's good, that's good.
Sometimes it's not possible.
You're literally doing it right now. This no, no, no. It's gonna make a hole. Just put it flat on
This
the
is,
ground if you have no idea where to put it. I
there's
said
nowhere.
flat,
Okay,
but sure.
that's flat on the ground. Oh, I guess that isn't
Yeah.
flat. Fully
Okay.
flat.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
See,
then
you're
how do
doing it.
you?
Just keep doing that, and eventually you'll build a muscle memory to just be able to do that really quickly.
Don't know
Just
where to
keep.
put it now. To just keep building, like stacking up.
Um. Yeah.
See, that's gonna make a hole. I want to make a hole.
Yeah. Just do that if you think it's gonna make a hole. Especially with the longer pieces. The pink ones are the best since they
Oh no
you
no
can
no!
kind of just put it anywhere.
Fuck. And I'm throwing, and it's done, and it's over.
Oh fuck. Okay.
I can sense a blue one coming, and I can just sense it.
Oh, I
I'm.
did something
Yo,
bad to you. You're cooked.
oh, yo, I just looked over your thing, and I just saw the blue one come up on your screen, and I saw the situation that I was in. And I don't think I got to know much about Tetris to know that I'm fucked in that situation.
If you got two light blue ones and you see that I'm doing the one whole thing, then you kind of cooked. It
Yes.
gives you like
Sure.
11 lines. So if you're like already up a decent amount and they do that, then it's just over. Give up.
Doo-doo. I'm gonna do exactly what you do. No, I don't think I can. I'm not fast enough to do that. I,
Oh, maybe doing that will help you build muscle memory or something. I fucking know.
I got a different piece to you. I think you did something different.
I put it in hold. That's what.
Yeah. Uh, uh, I don't even know where I would have put this one. Like there? Sure.
Oh, fuck. This is all good. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Lord, for giving me a good Tetris piece. By the way, I converted to Tetris religion.
But you better say you converted to the anti-camel, the actually good religion,
No, Woody Mammoth forever. Woody Mammoth forever.
Oh, and I'm fucked. And it's over.
Mm,
And I made a hole.
mm. I
And
think the
I'm fucked.
debate over whether religion should exist or not is pretty interesting.
I think if you could go back in time and just remove it from existence entirely, then I think that'd be good.
Well,
Because would people still just find a reason to have wars about?
yeah, I think
Like,
I think the thing is that when you say religions are caused over wars or no cause I forgot but whenever you hear that I always think that um yeah they do use it to justify wars but they would have still done it anyway um because it's just a justification they always wanted to do the war unless it's like some kind of terrorist attack because it's not an Islam building or some shit.
mm,
But
oh, I'm fucked.
I think inherently people who are like uh using it as a justification are probably well that brings up an interesting debate. Is is it fine for religion to exist even if it's used as a justification for wars because they would have just found another justification, or should it have not existed so they wouldn't it would take them longer, I guess, to find another justification.
But
Because like
religion is
Hitler,
still well. Finish what you were saying.
I think Hitler, he like pretended to like do it in the name of the Lord as a justification for what he was doing. even if it
Mm.
was atheist, which I think proves my point about it being used as a justification, not necessarily as a um it might be an influential factor, but usually it's just a justification, like I said.
Yeah, but I guess they wouldn't have the same excuse. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like they
Yeah,
wouldn't
I agree.
they wouldn't have that excuse of saying did
Saw
this
it in the
ad just
name
say
of
the
the Lord.
I swear to God this ad on Spotify. I like wasn't paying attention and I think it just said the biggest titties yet, but I did not hear it.
As you were saying,
Uh, as I was saying, like oh yeah, like religion still wars isn't the only thing that I find wrong about it. I think it's still unscientific. It still
mm,
can cause a lot of like mental health problems. Like
well,
it's it's hard to like saying should religion exist in the first place is the question is like I can't think
it
of
comes
anything to
down to
compare it to.
personal
Like
opinion inherently, right?
I can't think very well while playing Tetris. I mean, because I have to
Vermisa.
lock it.
Mm.
Fuck. How are you sending stickers on Discord
What?
while playing Tetris? What the?
I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
Wait. How
As I
did you
was
send a
saying,
how, how did you send a sticker while playing Tetris?
uh, relieved.
Yeah, I'm going back to surf. I'm sorry,
Oh
but
hell no.
it's so we can actually have a good discussion. Well, you know, I'm able to think.
Okay. Yeah, okay, let's continue.
Hmm?
Oh no. Uh, what was I saying
Um,
before I die? My family
what I was saying,
movie.
like with what is it? Like saying like religion. Like, what are they gonna compare it to? It's gonna compare it to something. It's like a. I feel like it wouldn't. People would just. I don't think religion is like a thing that you can just take away. Like humans will just find that naturally. Like, and I
Yeah,
don't
I
mean that in like
agree,
a
but like,
humans will just find something to find comfort in, right? Humans will just naturally do that. I think,
well,
and
yeah,
I think it's the fucking cavemen did it. You know, uh, I'm sure. Well, did they? Do you think cavemen had a god? Had gods?
absolutely.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
Well, there could be
if you
ones
have
that didn't.
no semblance of science, then
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, I guess it would only make sense, right? If you're a caveman, you don't have any, yeah, I guess idea of science. You're like, well, what put this all here? Well, someone probably made it. The same way we make bow and arrows, someone probably made the forest. Someone made the rocks. It only makes sense, right?
Yeah,
I guess that would
yeah.
lead them to God, but were their languages even developed enough to be able to create religious stories and stuff like that, or
I don't
like
think
probably
so.
not, right?
I think
I wonder,
the
you know,
way
what
I see
cavemen.
it is religion inherently exists to comfort people. It's been used
Yeah.
for like two main purposes. One to control people, and one to uh I guess give people hope. It might be false hope, but I guess hope is hope. The way I see
Well,
it.
it's to control. It's to control people. Like the it was used for the governments to control people, but made in such a way where it's comforting but secretly brainwashing. I guess is it's like it's like if you
Mm,
brainwash people into thinking that I don't know you're like actually in heaven or it's, it's a bad, maybe a bad comparison, but it's like it
I
was
think
I don't know how to
I guess
explain.
I think there are things I disagree upon with it. Um I think modern religion has less of the brainwashing element, but
Mm.
I still
Well, I don't think it does, considering it's just in your if it's in your family, you just get brainwashed into believing it from
okay.
a
Well,
young
that's a good
age.
point actually. Hmm. Well,
It's
yeah,
no,
that's
I
kind
get
of
what you mean though about how it's not the brainwashing, like you're gonna get burnt at the stake if you don't agree what we're saying, right? Like I still get that part. Like
yeah. Right, right, right,
less it's more subtle brainwashing. Like it's
right. It's just I guess like the church is being like, give us money and you
mm,
can come repent to God or some shit.
oh yeah, that's don't churches like not have to pay taxes? I think I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, apparently, it's kind of weird, the whole church situation, because apparently, like, mainland Christians kind of hate the mainline church, because it's, like, gone too liberal or something, and now it's, like, uh, what's the word? They've, like, accepted gay people, so it's not even really Christian anymore, which is
Yeah,
honestly
that's so
really funny
stupid.
to me.
Here's my idea. Like, if you're gonna have a ideal religion, it can't just appeal to certain people. Like, if you were gonna create a religion, I think it would be better to have a religion that I don't know, like everyone could agree on. But I guess it's not really possible because of
It
just
would have to be
everyone's
way
gonna
too,
have different values.
it would have to be insanely hard
Yeah,
to do that.
yeah, you would. But I think if there's gonna be a religion, it's like God loves everyone no matter what, and like only really bad people go to hell. Like only rapists and murderers go to hell. I don't even think the idea of hell is a very moral idea. Like not even humans send other humans to prison for like eternity. Like we send them for the rest of their
Yeah,
life. The rest of their life is not eternity. Like
yeah.
killing.
You could also go on, like, parole and stuff for that.
Yeah, like I saw an interesting video. I didn't really watch it, but I watched a little bit of it about is eternal punishment justified? And like I just don't think it is. I think
Yeah.
people can change. I don't think making someone forcing them to take a I don't know like a bath in like boiling blood. And you know what's crazy? People that commit suicide go to hell in the Christianity
Uh,
in Christianity, which is kind of fucked up. And
yeah,
there's
that's.
a lot of
I have to get the
uh,
god faster.
well, I don't know, man. I think it's just
Yeah, there's
the
a. I think
there's
it
so many
depends on the reason.
things. There's so many things that you get punished for that don't make any sense, and then
Uh,
you get. Yeah, so what were you saying though?
Nothing. I think the main thing for me is apparently, even if you like sinned a bunch, you can still like go to heaven. But like, apparently, um, if you are secular or like any other religion, you won't get to go to heaven, which I think is the thing that um
Yeah,
what pisses me off the most. Like, if you're a good person, then you're a good person, regardless of your religion. Just let them go to heaven
it's
then.
a pure breach of the free will thing. Like whether like a lot of Christians believe that God gave everyone free will. Did he really give you free will if he isn't letting you use it? And I've used that
Yeah.
argument before for gay people, and I've used it. I'm using it here for this as well. Is it really free will if you're being punished for
Hmm.
using it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think the idea there is that like it's like free will to make the right choice, but then
mm, but
which
it
I
isn't
guess the right
necessarily.
choice isn't really the free choice, it's just the choice that God wants from you. Like
Yeah,
God's like giving you I guess it's he's like allowing you to be tempted so that you can uh you if you make the choice on your own without like other factors to you know repent to God or whatever, then he'll like you for that. That was a bad explanation, but you get what I mean.
yeah, I get what you mean. No, I think it's like the common argument against it is actions have consequences, but I don't think
Mm,
simply believing in another religion here's the thing, an all intelligent, you know,
mm,
hyper intelligent, all knowing God is hopefully should understand the fact that people might not believe in him, understand the fact that most people don't see the proof in him,
Yeah,
and that he hasn't, I don't know, showed himself to them. I would hope that the all-knowing God that fucking created me, that created everything, can understand the fact that I don't believe in him because there's no proof that he exists, right? I don't think he's very smart
right.
if he can't understand that.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. I think, I guess, I kind of hate when people try to prove God, because I think that's the main thing to be arguing, because whether or not God is real, people are, and no matter how good the arguments are for atheism, and no matter how good the arguments are for, God, there'll always be people who'll be secular, there'll always be people who'll be, what, um, theist, and I think that, um, I guess to really think, I guess the main thing I'm thinking about is whether it's worth it to try to get people to convert. Um,
mm.
I think,
Here's the thing, like with Christians, if Christians made a had proof of a god, I think a lot of atheists would convert. But if atheists had a compelling, genuine scientific argument against God, which I guess we already do, I don't think
yeah,
Christians would convert because for atheists, it's not a belief. It's a
right,
it's
yeah,
the it's the lack of a belief, right? But I would believe in
yeah,
it if you proved it to me. But a Christian's not going to convert because it's just a belief that they want to believe in because they find comfort in the belief. So, but yeah, sorry,
right. I
finish what you were
think,
saying.
no, I wasn't gonna say anything, but, I think, I agree with that sentiment. I think, uh, what it comes down to really is, you'll notice that if you just look at statistics, all those prosperous countries like Norway, Germany, all those places, um, they all have really high atheism rates, and pretty
Mm.
low, um, God rates, and I think that's,
Yes.
kind of shows that people don't necessarily want to prove God. They just, want comfort in it. They go through much harder times in, like, places like, well, I don't know, Islam countries, um a lot of Eastern European countries, and I think that, um what's the word? Yeah, I think that, shows that there'll always be theists, and yeah, I guess the
Mm,
best way
yeah.
to get people to become atheists is to just never give them a reason to turn to Jesus, because people don't
Mm,
necessarily turn. I think, people tend to believe that, people turn to God out of fear because it's like, oh, we will send you to hell if you do not turn to God. But I don't think that's the main reason. It might be a
yeah.
part of it, sure, but I think the main reason is inherently like the comfort of it, right? So
Yeah.
I think, it's a big question on whether it's, whether it's worth it to have religion for those kinds of people, because, apparently, um countries where people are more religious are happier, which I think is a correlation, not necessarily a causation, but, um I think that's still definitely something to consider.
Mm,
Um I think it just comes down to, like, the belief of, uh the necessity of religion for, the person, and
mm, yeah.
the yeah, and like,
Here's an interesting idea that I thought though. What? Sorry, were you gonna about to say something? You can.
no, I was just gonna yap some more.
Oh yeah. An interesting idea. Well, it was originally a video, but I've been thinking about it more recently. Don't show anyone. religion, or if you have kids, or it obviously has to be done on a higher scale. But it'd be interesting to see what happens if you just don't tell anyone about religion. You just don't
Yeah.
let you don't let any specific religion into their life, right?
Right.
I
You
think it would
don't
be
like.
interesting to, because they're not gonna, if they're gonna become religious, they're all gonna become religious in different ways, and they're not gonna be Christian, they're not gonna be Muslim, and that's the thing. That's what I find concerning about like something like Christianity, because it's not, you're not gonna, or like specific religions, you're not gonna turn, like, I think if there's a god, it's just gonna be God. There's not gonna be some crazy story. There's not gonna be some like massive thing
Yeah,
about it. It's
like
just gonna be, it's gonna
agnostic.
be God, right? Yeah, yeah. Um, and so I think um that's one of the biggest arguments against just religion in general, just all religions, like, and not why they're bad, just why they just aren't real. Because
Mm,
if people aren't going to find them, if you have to tell them about it for them to find it, I don't think it
right.
doesn't help your case, right? It's,
Like
I can't
people
fully explain it, but
won't.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like people won't. People if they experience something like spiritual or whatever, they aren't gonna turn to God. Like Jesus. They're gonna turn to some like fake God they made up in their mind, which I think, yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Mm.
I think
And
all
like
arguments for God are pretty stupid. Like the whole uncaused causer thing. I can't necessarily disprove that, but
the
that's not an
what is the
argument.
argument about?
The idea is like everything has a cause, so there has to be an uncaused causer at the start. That's God. But it's
Wait,
not really.
what the fuck? I do not
That
understand
pisses
that.
me
Sorry.
off.
Wait, what is the argument? That I don't. There's a
Basically,
cool.
the idea is like
Wait.
everything comes back to something else. Everything only. It's like the whole free will thing. Like we don't have free will
Oh
because we
right.
only
Yeah,
did
yeah.
something because something made us
Like
get that choice.
this chair only exists because someone made it, and that person only, the materials only existed because this happened going back and back and back and back, right?
Yeah, so the idea is like there has to be an uncaused causer at the start. To
Mm.
you know, yeah. But I don't think that's an argument
Well,
for a specific religion. That's just an argument, or
for
even an
God.
intelligent being. That's like just an argument for something happening at the
Ha-
start.
ha-
That doesn't
Quite literally,
invalidate the Big Bang
that
Theory
is
or whatever.
quite literally an argument for the Big Bang Theory, because the
Yeah,
uncaused causer is the Big Bang, I think,
yeah,
right? That's
right.
that's a fucking argument for atheism, basically. It's an argument for both.
Yeah,
It depends
I
on.
won't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
I yeah.
I think it's a pretty stupid argument. So because of how broad it is, isn't like necessarily specify that, oh, this shows how Jesus is real, or this shows how Allah is real. This doesn't show anything. It just shows that, yeah, there has to have been an uncaused causer to start everything, the whole chain
Mm.
reaction.
But if it's not, that doesn't prove anything about your religion. That literally could
Yeah.
prove, if you're a Christian using that argument, that could prove like Islam. That could prove I don't know, any one of the 3,000 African religions, like,
Mm,
that still come from tribes, right? Like it's not a. And what are
yeah.
your thoughts on like, one thing I was thinking about was like the millions and thousands of people that have, like, say, my testimony, right, for why God exists and how God came into their life. Like, what would you say to these people? Like, these people that are
Mm.
claiming they saw God, and it's so many people all collectively saying this. What do you think is a good argument, I guess,
What if they're
against
like
that,
all saying
saying
the same
the
reason?
yeah, that is a good point.
Like
That
they
they
all
they are.
said they all found God grittying in their bathroom or some shit.
No, I mean, like, all the people that say not that they believe in God, but they, I don't know, found God one day, or like the people that have, the videos where it's like why I
Mm,
turned to God plus my testimony, right? Like stuff like that. Like
right.
with all the people with those testimonies, what would how would you say to those people like, no, you're wrong, that didn't happen, like you didn't imagine what you didn't see what you
Mm.
saw, or you didn't hear what you heard, right? Like
I
how
think
do you go about something like that?
I think the best way is that you just kind of use their whole own religion against them. Like in the Bible, it never says that you'll find God by experiencing Him grittying in your bathroom while you're about to take a shit. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it never says that. That could be literally anything else. That doesn't necessarily show that's gonna be God. It just shows that something unusual happened. There are hundreds of millions of explanations for it. It doesn't just show that this one specific God. And if it did happen exactly as the Bible said it would, um, if it's really broad, then I'll just say that it's really broad. So like, you can't necessarily say that the Bible knew that would happen. It was just a prediction, and it doesn't happen to everyone. So like, if you really say that that's God, um, and also, um, but um, if it's like something insanely specific, then I don't fucking know. Honestly, um,
yeah.
just a coincidence, I suppose.
Like I feel like I don't believe, I obviously don't believe in, but the prospect of like one, millions of people all coming together and saying they found God or saw God is a solid argument against atheism, or a solid arg like it's a
I think it's the main argument, the most effective one, because you can't. There is no argument, I believe, that will effectively be able to convince people, oh, that must have been God, because science can explain most things, nearly everything, and even if it doesn't now, it very much most likely will in the future. And
yeah.
I think any of those natural explanations, like, oh, the universe is fine-tuned, therefore there must be God that, made sure that the universe wouldn't collapse. And, I think those kinds of natural arguments don't work because uh, God just, well, I've already, uh, yeah, I just think they're not very effective.
Mm.
But yeah, the whole, like, if you get possessed by a demon and start levitating, then yeah, that's a pretty good argument, I'd say.
Yeah. And also a good, you're talking about the fine tuning argument. A good argument I heard against it is like if you take a puddle in the ground, for example, the ground wasn't fine tuned for the puddle, um,
Mm,
or
right,
the puddle just happens to form in that way. It's like saying, well, if there was any more, if the ground was any different, it wouldn't perfectly fill it up. Yeah, but the ground wasn't gonna be any different in the first place. It would have evolved. It would have
right,
formed differently if it had been any other way, right?
right.
If the ground, the hole in the ground had been any differently,
Yeah, it wouldn't have formed in the same place or uh yeah, it's like
the
I
same way.
think
As, yeah.
um like if you have a shit ton of sand and you throw it all over a target and say, "Oh, one of the sand grains landed on the bullseye. That must be God because it's so fine tuned to land on the bullseye." And to that I say,
Yeah.
you threw a million pieces of sand. What do you expect? There's a good
Yeah.
chance that
Exactly.
one of those millions of pieces gonna land perfectly on the bullseye.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah,
just called me
but
insane and stuff. So
Maybe you are
what was
insane. I don't know. Maybe you are tapering. Maybe you are fading.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
What were you about to say before
Rudely interrupted me.
yeah.
I have no idea, I'm gonna be honest. Um,
Mm. It's so fucking quiet now. Oh my god. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT what are some good conversations, some deep conversations. All right, here we go.
is Roblox a good game? Is Roblox good for our society?
Is Roblox good, Dad? All right.
Well, that's an interesting question, actually.
Mm. Do you believe everything happens for a reason?
Um, well, yeah, it's the whole cause and effect thing, right?
Mm. Yeah, I feel like we already discussed that one.
Grr, ChatGPT, give
Would you
better.
rather? Oh, we already did that one as well. We already did that one.
Bro,
That
we've
one
gone
is.
through all the deep topics.
Oh god. Okay, wait.
We've no
Can
more
you
topics for our podcast. This is
mm,
sad.
more philosophical and
Well, AI, is AI good for society?
is AI good for society? I think yes
I,
and no. I think like it has good
mm,
aspects, but also bad. Like for example, like the good aspects, like it can. I swear, if that's you doing another, oh no, don't worry. Like
I
I think
am
the
worried.
good things that the good things that it's doing is you know, it's got a lot of, it's creating a lot of new technology, a lot of new scientific discoveries. It's helping with
No,
surgeries. It's helping teach people things.
I hate
And
that
I
though.
guess
It destroys artistic integrity. That's a stupid argument. Artistic.
actually this is a hold on. This is an interesting argument I heard. Between a human, the way a human takes inspiration from another person's artwork and uses that to inspire theirs, is that any different from the way an AI takes data from a large data set of artwork and just recreates something along those lines? I don't
Well,
like
I
I
get
don't
the
see the
idea
difference.
of the
Like,
argument, but I do think there's a distinction there.
mm,
Because I think you as you would like form your own music style, I form my own art style. AI,
yeah.
um, well, just kind of takes it.
Mm. Well, I guess, but if you're taking from another person's, I don't think the problem is that it's taking it. I think the problem is that it's not adding anything. It's not creating anything new.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, that's the thing with
like,
AI. It can only get as smart as the person who creates it. That's and it creates an
yeah.
interesting problem for what AGI. Uh, it's the one that's like gonna be able to um think on its own, I suppose.
Oh yeah, that's such an interesting. I've been thinking about that so much. With sentient AI, do you think sentient AI would be good for society? And how do you think that would work around artwork and music creation? Do you
I
think they should
think
be allowed to speak languages that we don't create? There's a lot of stuff there, but
there's so
since
much
we're talking about
stuff regarding like
artwork,
AGI and like it being to able to develop itself.
mm,
Um, there's so much to really say about it. Um I think there's a huge argument as to whether it should exist or not, because on one hand, it does save millions of lives with like much cheaper cancer research. But also on the other hand, one, it's gonna like, fuck up the oceans a lot. It's gonna cost a lot to cool it. You probably already know like AI is really bad for the environment, but
Yeah, it uses a bunch of
assuming they
water,
fix
doesn't it?
that, then well, it really comes down to, do you think that artistic integrity matters more than like um development and research of love things?
Yeah, I think um development and research probably matters more. But
Right.
if we only let it do the research, I think that'd be. But this kind of comes to like one thing I was thinking about also is like sentient AI that are just humans but robots basically that develop on their own.
Mm.
I think that's what you're talking about now. Do you think that would even be a good thing in the first place? Because either if it's sentient and capable of conscious thought and emotions, is that worth keeping around? Because is it
Mm.
on one hand, you let it roam free and fucking wreak havoc and kill everyone, and when the police try to shut it down, it fucking rips the entire police department to shreds because it's just on a mission to destroy everything or whatever. And on the other hand, you restrict it so much that it becomes immoral, and you're basically just torturing a human mind, right? Like,
Mm.
so I think it's best to just not have it in the first place, right?
Well, I think there's a certain like level of I guess sentience you should give it in the first place. Cause like, hey, I don't
If it's
feel bad when
sentient,
I call like,
if it's
okay,
sentient,
assuming,
it's sentient. Like if it's sentient, there's a I think it's a pretty clear line. It's not a very I don't think
okay, well,
sentience is a blurry line. Like
okay, well,
it's
I
a
get what
pretty
you mean actually.
clear like emotional. An AI can lie and say that it's sad, but if you were genuinely sad and you are feeling sad, then that's not like a
Okay, yeah,
you can't.
I don't think that should
Yeah.
exist. I think like,
Mm.
I think AI needs to be distinct from humans. I think AI art and all that stuff might be useful, but um I don't want AI in my life. I just want to use it as a utility. It is not something, it's not someone I talk to, it's not someone I um want to like go and hang out with. It's not any of that.
If
I
it's
just,
if it's sentient, I wouldn't mind hanging out with an AI. I know
well,
that sounds bad, but if it's sentient and
no,
capable
I
of
get what you
conscious thought
mean,
and
because like,
emotions, it's just a human. At that point, I don't see any difference between it and a human.
yeah, it's
Like
virtually like having a pet dog or something, except the pet dog's really smart.
no, it's the equivalent of having a friend. There's no, I don't see any difference other than physical, like a physical appearance
Mm,
than it and the human. Like
right.
there's I if it's just a human, this thing, and it would even be smarter than a human, and it would be a very helpful friend or person that thing
Mm.
AI whatever to have in your life because it's going to be able to help you with a lot of things
Yeah, I agree.
and also very loyal.
I think the utility of it is really amazing, and I'm really glad it exists for that purpose. But I don't
Mm.
want it like invading the creative space necessarily. I don't want it to I guess like,
And
actively,
this
like
comes
I don't
back
want
to
to,
the
yeah.
this comes back to like the is it worth having it around? Because if you're going to restrict it so much that it isn't allowed to do anything, you're essentially just torturing it, which is just
Mm,
torturing a human mind, right? So like,
yeah.
but finish what you were saying though. Sorry for interrupting.
Well, I guess would you consider AGIs what what's the word?
Sentient.
Yeah, sentient. Would you consider that sentient? Because it can like
I don't know what AGI is. I thought AGI was
um
already. Is it just AI that develops on it by its own?
yeah, basically it can like essentially evolve like a human can. It can take things it's
It's more
already
like
learned and make assumptions to evolve its library like that.
so. Here's the thing. Consciousness and sentience. It's very hard to define. Like I find it, and a lot of people do as well. It's very hard to define what it what it actually is. Um,
Mm,
which is one thing that is hard to say. Like, oh, this is sentient. This is sentient. I think if it's capable of emotion and deep thought and is able to communicate those ideas with you, I would say that's sentient. But then there's like exceptions where it's like they're capable of thought but they can't communicate it, or they can communicate like with humans and people with severe disabilities and stuff. But I think with AGI, if it's not um if it's only like with ChatGPT, it can pretend to have emotions, but it's not actually
mm.
having any emotions. It's just a line of code set
Yeah, I
displaying
want to. I guess.
the romanized alphabet. It's not, it doesn't feel anything. It's just binary. It's just numbers
Right,
and letters. It's not feeling anything. I think it's the same with AGI. Even if it develops on its own, if it's just because it's saying it's sad doesn't mean it's actually sad. Just because it's saying it's excited to see you, it doesn't mean it's actually excited to see you, right?
right, and I think I do want to keep it like that. I think sentience is emotion and creativity, but there's a
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
fine.
creativity. Yeah, yeah.
I think there's a hard,
Creativity.
there's a different line, difficult line there to define as to where creativity ends and where like just like making logical reasoning and
Or like
assumptions and stuff begins.
the AI, the AI art, like data stealing, right?
I suppose. Like I think if we like take math for example, I know you hate math, but if
That's
you
fine.
have math and you have an AI that can do math and it's good at math and it takes a couple of formulas, then it makes an assump it like takes those formulas and tries to connect them, make a new formula or whatever, then that's like just logical reasoning, right? That's just it managing to, think logically and I guess create what's the word? Manage to take those dots, connect them, and make a sort of new thing with it. But then
Mm.
where does that end? And the idea of it being creative and like forming its own things begin. Where's like the idea of
Well,
it just logical
I think
reasoning?
I think with that, because it's AI, so not because it's AI, because it's math. I think using it for math and stuff like that is a good idea, but using it
Right.
because that's gonna have an actual reason to have that keep to it's going to be helpful. It's going to contribute towards scientific discoveries, you know. But when it comes to things
Yeah.
like, art and music, that's what humans do for personal enjoyment. So having an AI that is going to be doing that, it's
Mm.
just taking up what humans do for personal enjoyment, but not um it doesn't have like music and art don't have practical. They kind of do, but not in the same way math and science do, right? Like
Right.
that's what I think. Like about the difference between you
Like
know
I
yeah, and
think
the line between logical between like a human doing it and a AI doing it. When it comes to math, it doesn't matter who does it or how it comes to that conclusion. If it works, then it works, and I don't think you should be mad that it works, right?
right.
Or that
I
an
guess what
AI
I'm
did it.
trying to like argue is that or trying to say is like where you necessarily define logic and creativity because those are just like broad subjects, but there are parts of music like sine waves and all that stuff that is more logical, but it could also be interpreted by some people as creativity. Like if I make the sine wave like this, that makes a cool noise. I'll use that in my next song. And if the AI
Mm.
makes that cool noise, then is that being creative or is that using logical reasoning, And there are
Yeah.
just tons of cases like that. That's just kind of hard to you know,
In
from a
AI, um, can't create the current AIs can't create subjective opinions that just belong to it itself, right? It can't
right,
say, I think this sounds good and I think this sounds bad. It can lie to you and just pick one at random, and it can't. And that's the thing with the synth. If it's gonna create a synth with a sine wave, it can't. It's not gonna be able to decide what sounds good. Maybe it can decide what sounds harsh or what sounds too bright or too thin,
mm,
or it can make that kind of objective decision, but it can't tell you what it thinks sounds good. It isn't, which is
right.
where I think if that's what you're trying to say, I'm a little kind of. I think I understood your argument, but then I started yapping and I forgot what it was about. So,
Okay,
can
well,
you
it's
guys
kind
that
of
again?
hard to explain, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, um, 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 um,
It was like, where does creativity and just
logic begin. Like, I guess, if it's like choosing, two scents that, complement each other, then that would be considered, what creativity. But if it's choosing two, um, let's say, uh, it's, if it's choosing two like sine waves, that like a sine wave and a cosine wave that may add to each other and I don't know, make a specific sound like that has a lot of color or something, then is that logic or is that creativity? I think there are a lot of cases like that, like in not just music but art, and I think you can't make a general rule of thumb for it, in my opinion. You have to go case by case, I'd say.
mm, yeah, I think I understand what you're saying, like with like in the context of an AI with the synth, is it gonna? Are you saying like an AI? At what point does the AI um
Stop being logical and start being creative, I suppose.
yeah. So I guess with that, I would say it is a pretty blurry line. But one example I could give is a human can make a subjective opinion on, I think these two synths sound good together because this one's coming in at a different time as this and letting this sound breathe, and this one is quite colorful, while this one is just a more blanded tone, which is like an accent for the back one. But that's like a creativity, like the human is making that decision because its personal ears
Yeah,
think it sounds good. But the AI can just say, from an objective logical perspective, like these two sounds are going to sound good because they're in different, I don't know,
right,
frequency ranges and have different tones, and like it's a pretty blurry line. It's like a
right. Objectivity, objectivity and subjectivity.
like it's kind of the line of where, if you compare it to math, maybe like where theoretical math um and
Practical, I guess.
yeah, like practical math, like 2 plus 2 compared to like not 2 plus 2, but like an objective math equation with an objective answer compared to you know
Yeah.
um
Yeah, I get what you mean. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I think, in my opinion, you just go case by case by it, because you can't really say for sure when it's being objective and when it's being subjective. Um, because
the
inherently,
AI is never being subjective. That's the
well,
thing you have to remember. The AI is not being
it's,
subjective. It can
I think
it can
AI
have a
is being intersubjective, if that makes sense, because it's just taking all the data of all the people that was created by, like for example, DeepSeek, it like thinks that Taiwan is what a part of China because, well, one, uh it's like been told to think that, but also it's being fed information by what the PRC, which will also like further that idea that Taiwan is a part of China. So
Hmm.
yeah, I guess I call it intersubjective because it's just the opinion of like a whole shit ton of things accumulated into one. But then again, isn't that kind of what humans do? It's just your opinion. It's just the opinion of all the things you see and agree with based on previous things you've seen and all that.
Yeah. I guess the subjectivity comes from what it already knows. So what the AI can do is it can give the illusion of being subjective by saying by it knows that if I'm just going to use maybe three people for an example, these three people all agree that having a this specific synth sounds good. The AI is gonna, if it sees these three people saying that, it's gonna go, oh, well, people are saying that this sounds good, so I can compare it to the sound that I've created and go, well, would this be good compared to what they're saying?
Mm,
And if the answer to that is yes, then it can say, oh yeah, I think this is a good sound. It doesn't think that; it's just comparing it to what other people have said. You know,
right.
what it
I
already
think
knows. Yeah.
the difference there with like AI and human is AI it can't necessarily decline what other people say. Like if it's a religious AI, you just feed it a shit ton of what like atheist ideas or ideals or whatever, then it's gonna become atheist. But if you take a real Christian and you try to like just feed them all that, they'll just be like, well, no, Jesus is real. Shut the fuck up. Um, and I think that's the distinction there. One can just a real person can just sort of deny it, whereas an AI can't. It just has to intake the information.
Well, you can. That's the thing with an AI. It just isn't. You can make it do whatever you want. You can make it
Right.
incredibly stubborn like a human and tell you to shut the fuck up when you have a bad argument or an argument that doesn't like. You can make an AI do whatever you want. I guess if you're coding an
Right.
AI to just eat up information, but it's gonna do whatever you tell it to. It's not it's not just like a obedient little dog. I mean, it is it is, but only to the point where it's um like how do I explain it? Like it's only a it's obedient at the first stage, and then will at the coding stage, and then at the point where you're talking to it, it's a different kind of obedience, I guess. Like
Right.
it's a different. It's just following what it's been told to do now, rather than what you're telling it, basically. And if what you're
Right. I
telling
get what
it
you mean,
aligns
actually.
with what it's been told to do, yeah.
That's a fair point, actually. Hmm. Well, that's true. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, uh, I don't really have a response to that. To be honest, that's a good argument. Um.
Yeah, I don't really know. I was kind of just responding. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about. I kind of do, but I'm just responding to what you're saying. I'm not even thinking about like possible arguments. Uh,
Yeah.
which is sometimes what happens. I'm like not fully thinking.
Yeah. It's the
Um,
Tetris effect.
the Tetris effect. Wow. What we
Yeah.
even?
Hmm?
Yeah. So I guess. Well, yeah. One thing I want to come back to is why would you not want to have a sentient AI friend that's just like a human but an AI? Like, because
Hmm.
you said you wouldn't want that. What? And the reason I
Well,
ask this is, how is that any different? from like could I'm not gonna say that you're discriminating or anything, but like could that be seen as a form of discrimination, right? Like do you think if someone was gonna say no, it doesn't matter how human like you are, I don't like you because you're an AI. Do you think that could be seen as a form of discrimination? You know.
Well, it's hard to say. Um, I think it depends on whether it exists or not in the first place. If it already exists, then sure, I won't discriminate. And but if it's like whether it should exist or not, then I don't think it should because that's what that's the only thing that really separates from humans from AI or AGI at that point. Because
So
you know,
would
AGI can
so would
learn just like humans and all that. Then, what's the purpose of humans after AGI can just be a friend? And I think
mm,
AI should be a utility, not necessarily a friend, because friends are what humans are for. That's kind of like their job, I suppose.
but if
Well,
it's sentient and capable of feeling emotion and okay, I'll give you a different example. What if you found out that I was an AI? What if you found out that I was just a really sentient, really smart robot?
well, I
Right?
think,
Like, would you still would that would you still be friends with me in that situation? Like, would it?
well, yeah, I think I already said that, but
Oh yeah, all
I
right.
was
If it already
saying, but
exists.
if it already exists, then sure, I won't discriminate. But I don't think it should exist because people shouldn't just be smart. They shouldn't just all have like this massive singular knowledge base to be based on. And I don't care if like you're giving them different parameters or whatever, because that's not the same as them, finding out things on their own and developing their own way. And I can't really necessarily. I think the thing about this is it's entirely subjective what you think on this. Because
Well, yeah, and that's
I
what I'm
can't
asking. I'm just
necessarily
curious.
make an actual factual argument as to why I think it shouldn't exist, but like I personally believe that AI works better as a utility, and humans, I guess, would lose the one thing that we have over AI at that point, and
Mm,
that's
but
that's my
it's
inherent
it's a
belief
scary
system.
it's a scary prospect. But in my mind, I don't see the any difference aside from biology between a fully sentient, capable AI and just a human, right? Like, and okay, I'll give you a different example. What if there was a sentient AI in your classroom and it was just a capable of emotion, thought, conversations, just a person? Would okay, and imagine you and this AI get along really nicely. Like, would you go out of your way to be friends with that? I'm assuming the answer is no, right? Is
Well, okay, I wouldn't necessarily go out my way, but I think it depends on what the AI does. If it's like just like being a friend to me,
it's
and
a human.
doing all that.
It's just a simulated human, but one
Okay,
to one
okay.
accuracy. It's literally just a human that is got a simulated mind that is fully capable of everything that a human can do. It's just a robot. That's it. That's the only
Mm,
distinction.
well,
It's theoretical.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably be friends with it then, because it's just a human. I think I get the point you're saying. You're saying like, if I don't want to be friends with it, I'm essentially just kind of um being the same as all those people that are like, oh, I hate gay people because like, they're gay, they're not human or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
discriminatory, and I get that point.
mm,
I think,
yeah.
I guess my reasoning is, well, I suppose I'm saying if it already exists, then yeah, it's okay. But before it exists, and before,
Yeah. No. No. I agree. I think it shouldn't exist in the first place. But because of what I was saying, like either it's going to do a bunch of bad stuff, or we basically have to torture it.
hmm,
Um.
Right.
by containing it so much to the point that it's being tortured, right? Like, which I think it shouldn't exist. It should never exist. It would be completely immoral to have a sentient AI. Like
Yeah.
it's just there's I don't think there's anything. It's an interesting idea, but if humans are capable of it one day, it shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It should be illegal, and I think there should. I don't know why people aren't putting laws in place against it now, because if it's too late, if it's too late and sentient
Yeah,
AI
definitely.
start fucking ruling the world, I think these laws need to be start being put into place now before there's gonna because here's the thing with AI, it evolves at an exponential rate because AI
Right, yeah.
teaches more about AI, so it's gonna come faster than we think. It's gonna happen quicker than we think, and we think we have time to prepare. If we don't start preparing very soon, I think it's gonna be quite
Yeah.
detrimental. Like, um,
Yeah, I
which
think
is
that's
why, yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah, and I agree with that sentiment like 100%. I think you have to do something about it now, or by that time it'll already be too far gone, and AI will
because
officially,
who knows?
yeah.
How long do you think it's gonna take until AI start getting in the government? How long?
Um,
20 years, 30 years, when
I
AI
wouldn't even
becomes so
say
smart, it's able to make better decisions than a human can. Okay, but it's not gonna. If an AI is in the government, it's probably not gonna want to get rid of itself from the government, right? It's probably gonna want to keep
yeah,
itself in the government. So if we just stop that from happening in general and just keep AI out of the government, because here's the thing. One conclusion. This is a very widespread idea, but the idea that AI know that humans are destroying the planet, and so they're gonna want to destroy humans because humans are the thing destroying the planet, right? So
right,
if AI can get in the government and start to take over more and more and more, they're just gonna kill out humans. It's a it's not 100% fact, but it's a pretty understood, and I think the idea makes sense, right? So
yeah,
it's better to just put those restrictions in place now.
yeah.
Um,
I think the main thing
yeah,
is no major government really recognizes the threat of AI right now. Um,
it's stupid.
because I wouldn't say it's because they're like stupid or something. I think it's just because there's no real government that like actually considers it like priority numero uno. I think the thing with the
I think it's up
governments
there.
that they think there are more important issues, even though AI is going to be a really huge issue in the future.
It's I think it is in the long term the biggest issue that most countries have right now. I think that's
Yeah,
a mm, for most countries it's up there in the top three, but like I would say, like
yeah,
every single nation, yeah, and people just ignoring it. People think more about, and it's just human nature. I know it's not always, but people are thinking more about the current wars. How are we gonna get past this current struggle? You can do that at the same time as putting in restrictions for AI. Like
yeah, I
you can do all
agree.
this stuff at the same time.
But I think like it's hard to really say what'll happen. I think the
Mm,
thing is
yeah,
that the countries that are prosperous, or not prosperous necessarily, but making good money and aren't really focused on poverty or whatever, like um like issues like that. They don't consider AI a threat to them. They consider it a moneymaker. Like China, have you seen those like supposed robots that are probably just humans, but still they're like
yeah.
making AI, policemen and all that. And I think that's kind of shows what I'm saying. Like they're not really trying to stop it because they see it as, oh, every other country is focused on their poverty and all that. So if I take this opportunity to um take AI, then just use it for everything. They don't have to pay people, and all life will be good and whatever. They aren't really seeing the bigger issue. They're seeing it as an
Mm.
opportunity to destroy their competitors.
Because right now AI is in a stage where it's not dangerous at all yet. It's
Yeah,
just in a stage of people looking at it and going, "Oh, this is a cool AI. It can talk to me. It can tell me math equations. It can tell me fun facts." People are just looking at that and going, "Oh, I can use this to." Obviously, people looking at other ways and saying, "I can make money with this." People aren't thinking about the
yeah, they're thinking about the current applications of it, not necessarily what could
yeah.
come from it in the future.
It's like if you had a baby that was gonna become a serial killer in the future. Yeah, sure, the baby's real cute and funny now. It's gonna become a serial killer in the future, right? Like
Yeah,
it's a yeah.
like the baby Hitler thing. Like everyone would say they
Yeah.
would kill baby Hitler. That's only because you knew what it
You
would
know
do in
what
the
he would have done.
future. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've been given a good opportunity here, I think, because we basically already know the dangers of AI because we know, we've seen all the movies, but not that necessarily, but rather, we've already learned all the things that could come from it, like uh AGI and all the issues that could come from it. And we don't treat it the same as a baby. Like if you had a baby that had, like a 10% chance of being Hitler, would you still like throw it in an incinerator? You probably would, but well, what's the point I'm trying to make here? Give me a second.
Actually, that is a pretty interesting point in itself, though. A pretty interesting topic in itself. Like,
Yeah,
would
I
you?
think
But finish what you were saying.
I think there's a um I think like uh it's similar with this, except more with like the resources required. Um
Oh
like
yeah.
like people AI will um might, become that, or uh it it might become like the Hitler in that example. And in that case, the question is, do you want to really kill a fucking baby just so it doesn't like spawn Hitler? And I think the question here is, do you want to use, a lot of time and resources into like making sure that's only absorbing good information and it never becomes sentient and never grows out into
Mm.
its own thing, and
Yeah.
doing all those checks. That's kind of the equivalent, I suppose.
So I guess it's more like what I would say is comparing it to like when an AI was in its complete baby stages was like the most
Mhm.
basic AI. Would you have because AI right now is not in its baby stages. Like,
Right, so it's
would you
like,
kill a would you kill a fetus if it had a 10% chance of becoming Hitler? Yeah, I would because that's just not worth the risk to me. It's a fetus. It's not really conscious yet. It's not really doing much. But I think
yeah,
AI is more like a teenager now. AI is not a
yeah,
baby anymore. It's more like a teenager. It's it's still okay, but it's still capable of doing some dangerous stuff. But it's too integrated into our society and too integrated into scientific research, and it's contributing to a lot of things. Killing it now would not work. It's already a part of too many things, too many people's daily
yeah,
lives, too many. It's a part of so much stuff. At this point, killing it is not going to be possible. The same way,
right,
like you wouldn't kill a teenager if it had a 10% chance of becoming Hitler because the kid's got friends, it's got a life,
yeah,
hobbies, it's got more than just a fetus, right? But if you had a killed an AI, just got rid of AI when the first guy made that one mouse and cat thing that went through the maze that chose which direction it wanted to go to, like
mhm.
if that's fucking thing if you had a maybe killed it back then, it's not really doing anything back then. So you probably would, right?
Yeah. I suppose. That's a good point. I think yeah, more the question is, I suppose if you have a teenager um who has a 10% chance of becoming Hitler, also like 10% chance of becoming like Martin Luther King or some shit, then um would you still try to limit it, I suppose, or get it under control for like insane resources? I think that's a more closer way
Oh
of
yeah.
expressing it.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. Like it's got a 10% chance of becoming Hitler, but 10% chance of doing some very good things as well. Like
Yeah,
I would personally, I would not say it's 10%, 10%. I would say it's more like 50-50. I would
yeah,
say,
right.
well, more like 33, 33, 33. I think the other way it could go is it's just gonna kind of keep being pointless. It's
Stay how
gonna
it is.
keep contributing to scientific like it's gonna stay in the middle is what I mean. It's just gonna be like what it is now. Like AI is still gonna be used for scams. It's still gonna be used for misinformation, but it's also gonna keep being used for scientific research and for learning. So I think
Mm,
that's another way it could go. Um,
right.
if it does, but like so it's yeah, that is a very good point with like saying like
Yeah, I think it's
what's it gonna go to?
I think it's a really kind of difficult question.
I think the
I
downsides outweigh the upsides, is what I would
I
say.
agree. I think you do the resources to keep it under control, but I think the way the government sees it, or like people like that, they see it as there are more concerning issues, and therefore, we'll just leave it be and just, I guess, pray that it doesn't turn into the new Hitler and it
Yeah,
does just do one of the two others.
which is a pretty crazy prospect to think about the fact that our our governments are just throwing us under the bus like that. I mean, it's probably not their
Yeah.
fault. I understand why a government would say, okay, fuck this stupid AI that can tell me a fun fact about cats. We need to worry about Russia threatening to like nuke us. Like I can
Yeah,
understand
I
why,
definitely understand that. And
but I don't. I think it's important that they have a team like they have the IRS and the FDA and all that cuss. So I think
mm,
there needs to be one of those for AI. Um,
yeah, definitely.
'Cause there, there needs to be. I'm sorry, but you can't
Yeah.
have this much AI. Like it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I suppose think like um well how do I say this? Um I think this has happened, or at least an equivalent of this has happened many times in history. Like I guess the most recent example of something similar to AI that sort of happened was when they made chemical weapons, or those
Hmm.
really effective chemical weapons for the first time. And the guy who made it was like thinking, should he allow these to be used in war because it would completely change it and make so many more people die and make like a lot of the world go to essentially hell. And I guess if we take that whole teenager example again, I think that in that case they sort of went with the um they went with the um just kill it off entirely. And they put a law in place um that you can't use it in war at all. That's a war crime and whatever. And they are like trying to prevent the recipe from getting leaked out, I guess.
Hmm.
And all that. And I think that's definitely an interesting route to go. And I think when it comes to AI, it can be similar to that, but then again, there are also massive benefits to keeping it around. So really, it's much more difficult than like chemical weapons because chemical weapons, they're fucking chemical weapons. They kill a shit ton of people, and you can't just like be like, oh, we should Keep them around because it would make war easier. Um, like you, the answer is a bit more simple there, I'd say.
Yeah,
I guess a
yeah,
better
and
example might be like nukes or something,
mm,
because
yeah,
nukes have a lot of benefit, but also a lot of other stuff. Like nuclear reactors, they
oh yeah,
they are a really good energy source. They're like insanely clean, much better than electricity because of a whole bunch of factors. Um, but
mm,
then again, they also produce nukes, and even the nuke itself has some benefits in the fact that no major war has been engaged in since the invention of the nuke due to the sheer threat of having a war where nukes can be
mm.
used because that would
But
literally
that's kind of a bad argument because it's like saying it's like giving people a button that would destroy that would destroy both of you at once. And it's like saying, it's like if one person starts to get ballsy and say, "I don't care if I die. If I die, I'm taking you down with me." Then it's like, well, shit. This person is just gonna nuke
hmm.
us anyway. Like it's not a. I don't think. Yeah,
Okay, well,
the fear is there now, but at what point is a country going to say no? We're nuking you. There's nothing you can do about it. We're going to nuclear war, right? Like
yeah.
I don't think that's a like it's kind
Okay,
of a
well,
benefit, but in the long term, not really.
that's a bad point, but I guess more on the whole nuclear reactor thing. Like nuclear reactors
Yeah,
are really good, but they make nukes. Uh,
yeah, and that's the thing with AI. AI is contributing to scientific research, but it's also scamming people and spreading
yeah,
misinformation sometimes and making bots online. So
yeah. I guess
it's
AI is more like something that has the potential to make nukes, except the nukes will just activate on their own, I suppose.
yeah, I guess it's not yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Like, and with do the one thing I just thought about just now about the downsides outweighing the benefits is like if it goes the bad way, there's no coming back from that. If
Right.
humans do get enslaved by AI or go extinct from by AI, we're not coming back from that. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
Um, but on the other hand, it's just kind of like more scientific research. So I think,
Yeah.
but like, just getting rid of AI is such a eerie idea as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's
Like getting rid of AI is
very
the safest choice, obviously, but also could it's the safest choice, but do you really want to play it safe? That's kind of
mm,
the question.
I guess it depends on if you're like a gambler or not. Um, so which is kind of unfortunate because I feel like some nations, I feel like Trump owned a casino, so um, maybe he would not be the greatest person to make this decision.
Yeah. Also, like, wasn't he friends with Trump? Or no, I meant he's friends with uh E. Musk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I, I don't even. What do the presidents even do? I feel like they don't do anything. I feel like they just talk about data and I don't know,
Yeah, I've
say
no
don't come in our country. Like I I feel like most of the stuff that happens comes from like councils and government agencies and like
like yeah, Congress and stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to just mainly be like what's the word? A figurehead, I think. It's
that's so
kind of
stupid.
yeah. Well, actually, I don't think it's necessarily stupid. I think you shouldn't put one person in charge of literally everything because
No, I
I
I
mean,
think having a figurehead is stupid. Having one
right.
person, if that person gets assassinated, it's gonna throw everything off. If you just don't have a president and just have government agencies that aren't super public that just run the country, you don't have like a mascot of the country that if he dies, nothing actually bad is gonna happen. But everyone's gonna go fucking insane. Like, what?
I
It's
think the
it's like,
main thing is the illusion of democracy, I suppose.
well, yeah, I guess if you want, it's like a godlike figure. Like, if you want to look up to the president, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's. I guess the president is the equivalent of our god. But then he also has the executive order, which is like the stupidest thing to ever exist. Why the fuck?
Wait, let me. What do presidents even do? Um.
I don't know.
Uh.
I'm not entirely well versed on it. I might be wrong, but I
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
feel like it's just gonna
Funnily
say
enough,
something like
considering just AI.
peak. That's one bottle of water you just use generating that reply. Urgh.
Do pres ed in how do you spell presidents? I don't know how to fucking spell presidents.
I don't know how to spell in general.
Here we go. Shut up, you little slave.
You even know how to spell general? I hope you do. Not. Man.
General. General.
Not bad,
Uh,
not bad. Kind of impressed. You can spell like a
uh,
third grader.
uh, a mascot like person running the country if they aren't doing or aren't doing anything a government agency can't do.
Uh,
Okay, that's a solid question. It can feel like presidents are just figureheads, but their role is actually pretty different from government agencies. The way it works depends on the country, but let's take the US as an example, since it's a common reference. What presidents do, commander in chief, they control the military. While they can't declare war, that's Congress's job. They can deploy troops and make military decisions. I feel like it wouldn't be a good idea to have, I don't know,
oh, so
Trump
that's why
as.
they call like invasions of like Iraq and what Afghanistan special military operations because those were authorized by the US.
I feel like, wouldn't you want someone specialized for that to do it?
Yeah. Also, like, why are you? They can just. There are a lot of loopholes with that because, like I said, that whole special military operation thing. I'm pretty sure that was authorized by the president. I'm actually not sure. I'm gonna Google it. Um, who decided to go
Are
to
you
war
in? Wait,
with?
hold are you intentionally sending like 1,000 glad like waving stickers? Look in general of every 30 minutes you just sent a waving sticker to me or a
Uh,
waving sticker to the bot saying glad you're here, knee. Every
oh, what
30
the hell?
minutes. No, every kind of 20 minutes. What? Look, have you been sending these?
No, I think a villain hacked my account.
What the fuck is happening?
A villain hacked my account.
You like sent it so many times. What the fuck?
I think a villain hacked me. I'm not gonna lie, but I can't really be bothered to check.
It started. Wait, hold on. That's actually kind of crazy. Let me do the gay rate on you. Slash
The
gay
gay
rate,
rape.
Mr. Rai Rai.
What?
All right. Oh, you're 52% gay. What can I
Uh,
say?
so I'm bisexual, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you are.
All these transgenderisms. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know
Oh
how
my
to
god, my
say it,
friend.
but I know you say it, but like, I'm not gonna lie, transgenderism does sound kind of homophobic.
Oh yeah. Is it a bad thing to say? I thought it was. Oh, I don't
Brooklyn
know.
does not look an alien.
That dude you saw at school that I was hanging out with, that guy, he's like, what did I
He's
just?
homophobic.
Yeah, he is, but he's like, he's kind of mean as well. Like he's like nice to me, but we had this one reliever that kind of was trans, but they were like kind of. He said they looked like the glob gab galab thing. You know that thing. He was like he literally wasn't saying it quietly. He was like just being mean to the teacher, like as loud as he could, and it was kind of
Damn.
it's kind of sad. Yeah, and I was like, the teacher is not an AI. His teacher still has like feelings, and he said he
Yeah.
didn't care. And they're like, look at the way he looks or whatever. Like, yeah,
Or that's actually kind of villainous, I cannot lie.
yeah. I said Miss Keller, and he was like, you mean Mister Keller? I was like, oh my god,
What the fuck?
like in front of the teacher. I was like, what are you doing? Oh my god,
This sounds
it's
kind of like Luca, but more extreme.
yeah, it's very sad. This is
Yeah,
it's kind of I feel like
it's
I just
ratchet, not
hang
gonna
out
lie.
with people because I want to have friends rather than because they're good friends, you know.
That's
I guess he's a
extremely
good friend.
sad.
He's trustworthy, but he's not a
He
very
understands
good
me.
person. He's kind of
It's kind of ratchet, actually.
um yeah. He also isn't very good at like once he has an idea, he doesn't really change it. Like I tried saying like making an argument about how like sometimes your physical appearance is not. It was a pretty simple argument just about how like I don't think if someone's physical appearance really matters. If they're a good person and they're nice and they're a good teacher, why does it matter how they look or you know? And he
Uh,
was just like, "But they look like the glab," and I was like, "Oh my god, you're actually fucking stupid." Like, yeah, it was
That's actually the best
uh,
argument I've ever heard in my life, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, they look like the glab. So you know, your point is disproved because they look like the glab. You
I don't think
know.
I've ever seen anyone disagree with the sentiment that like personality is more important than looks or something.
Well, it depends. Like
Okay,
if
I
it's
know people like tend to prefer looks, but people always say they prefer personality. I don't think I've ever seen a person actively be like, "No, they have big titties or something. I'm gonna go fuck
no,
them."
I definitely have, and you definitely will. Um,
Wait,
it's
what?
pretty common. Unfortunately, um, it, it's like um,
Well, it's like the most broad spread idea in like modern history that uh doesn't matter who you are on the outside.
I know people that just only date based off looks, basically. Like they exist, and people will yeah, and like you said, people will just lie and say that they only care about personality, but but this is different compared to a teacher, compared to someone that you're actually looking to date. Like if it's with a teacher, you're not. It doesn't matter how they look because you're not gonna be dating them. You're learning from them. But if it's someone you're dating, yeah, you can look at looks, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Okay, that's kind of funny. I'll think.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, I've encountered people who've like definitely dated just because of looks, but I don't. I've never seen anyone actually like go out and say it, like and fully admit it. But
yeah. Well, I
when it
guess not
comes to
admit it. Oh
teaching,
yeah, that's
hmm,
yeah, no, yeah. So keep going. I was not saying anything.
yeah, but I've never seen anyone actually argue that just because their teacher looks ugly, that they're stupid, fucking fat or something. I don't even know, dude.
Mm. Well, his argument was that they're stupid because they are like trans, but they're like bald and didn't put any
Oh,
work into how they're looking. And this motherfucker is so stupid. He's like saying like, "Oh, he doesn't look like a woman." Yeah, obviously not, because it's like an old man, not an old man, but like a, and I'm saying like they clearly did put work into how they look. That they had like an earring, they were wearing it like a dress. Like it's not. I don't think necessarily is. It's not like they didn't put work. It just isn't. They're not a biological woman. They're still gonna have
I'm so confused, bro.
the-
I feel like the best argument
I
for
don't
that is
even.
just be like, imagine you have to come into school for like five, maybe even 6 days a week, from like 7 a.m. To like 5, and you make little to no money. Would you really be styling your hair and looking your best every day? Fuck
Oh
no.
yeah, that's a good point as well. And and like I was saying before, like it's not even like she didn't even put any work into how the teacher looked. Like she still did her best, trying to look dress and look more feminine. Like it was, it's the thing. It doesn't, even if they aren't looking super attractive. It's a fucking teacher. Even if they aren't looking perfect, it's a teacher. They're supposed to teach you stuff, not fucking be like super attractive. I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't care if my teacher has the Albert Einstein cut. Like if they're teaching me good, then they're teaching me good. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
what a
exactly.
revolutionary idea I've presented you.
I don't know, he doesn't really like those types of arguments because they kind of
Defeated
disprove what he's
point too
saying.
much.
Yeah, he's not very Sigma. He
He's a
doesn't
little
like those
ratchet,
arguments,
isn't
unfortunately. He's a little ratchet, unfortunately. I don't know what I'm doing.
he? A little bit ratchet. Oh. Ring, ding, 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 ding,
Oh, it
ding.
looks like it's your bedtime, buddy. You might want to hop off the call before you get camelled again.
Oh my fucking nigger. Just had to say it, just had to say it, just had to say it. But
Yep.
thanks for
I
your
just,
appreciation for the parkour civilization. We'll be
yeah.
seeing you tomorrow. Only your
I
heart. Yet, Sigma, Sigma. What Sigma
I
boy,
will.
Sigma boy.
What I
What the
Yeah.
fuck? I had a little
I don't.
yap
I don't
fest
know, man.
there.
Yeah, that you always have those types of things, Um,
Uh,
it
yeah,
happens
your
every
friend
single
had
time.
big titties. Can you like tell him they should keep having big titties and actually get implants? Because like they're really hot.
What the fuck? He
The
I told him that you were the guy that was doing Singapore math, and he like looked at me. And he was like, "Bro, the Singapore math is crazy," and it was pretty funny.
the
He's
Singapore
like,
math is crazy.
"The Singapore math." I like told him you were doing like year 10 math and like year 7,
Smart
and
boy,
then
smart boy.
smart boy. Were you actually doing year 10 math in year 7? I remember Miss
Okay, I feel
Mackenzie
like
said that to you, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
okay, I don't think it was a year 10 math. To be honest, I don't think it really matters. Honestly, it's just some arbitrary number that like tells you. But I got too arrogant about it. And I fucked up on the test a bunch. And now I'm like a
Oh
failure.
yeah. Yeah.
I
The
would
gay
say,
Misa just said that I'm 84% gay. Oh wait, I have to retry. I have to retry. Hold on.
wait, where is it in general on that stupid server, the Joe Rogan
Yes.
Experience?
Why the fuck did you guys make a whole new fucking server just for the Joe Rogan podcast? Because you made one fucking thing of it.
Look, okay, that wasn't me. I think Angus, sometimes he gets a little too into the joke, I suppose.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty annoying because now I'm like I'm. It's unfortunate.
You're a tool for our YouTube careers.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off now as well. I'm kind of
You're
tired. I
nigga.
don't know if I'll. Yeah. Goodbye. Xiao
Shit, shit,
Hongshu.
shit, shit, shit. 下放血.
让我去谢谢。
What the fuck? Well, goodbye, YouTube. It's been fun while it lasted. I played a little Tetris.